Every year in January, all the kids take down their Christmas tree, and we all get together as a community and we set those trees on fire.
Me no want to be a mosquito down at the Christmas tree burn. Down at the Christmas tree burn. Me no want to be a mosquito down at the Christmas tree burn. Down at the Christmas tree burn. Because the fire get hot, hot, hot. And the mosquito them drop, drop, drop. And then the fire get hot, red hot. And the mosquito them pop, pop, pop. And they do the Bobby Wombo. And they do the Bobby Wombo. And they do the Bobby Wombo. Oh, and then they do the Bobby Wombo. Me no want to be a mosquito down at the Christmas tree burn. Down at the Christmas tree burn. 'Cause me no want to be a mosquito down at the Christmas tree burn. Down at the Christmas tree burn. The bear leg we bite, bite, bite. The barbecue just right, right, right. We making music through the night, night, night. And then they make a fire light, light, light. And they do the Bobby Wombo. 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 And then 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 they do the Bobby Wombo.
Mosquito bite on the leg and feet.
Move your body, sway to the beat.
Hear the punching chair, hear the band.
Call the bombero fireman.
Find a partner, then grab a tree.
Throw it in on the count of three. Step back, watch the fire rise.
Watch mosquito drop from the sky. Mosquito bite on the leg and feet. Move your body straight to the beat. Hear the punching chair, hear the band. Call the bombero fireman. Find a partner, then grab a tree. Throw it in on the count of three. Step back, watch the fire rise. Watch mosquito drop from the sky.
Me no want to be a mosquito down at the Christmas tree burn. Down at the Christmas tree burn.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 25 of Rapping with Rapscallions. As usual, we're having a little bit of internet problem, but there's only one way to end 2020, and that's with a little bit of audio video glitches as usual. But don't you worry, we're gonna have a great show because 2020 it's been kind of a downer. So you know what? We're gonna end it on a positive note. We're gonna talk about 2020, but all the good things. All the good things that have happened over the past year, a lot of things maybe you didn't hear about, maybe because they got overshadowed. That's what we're going to be talking about. Joe has made a wonderful list of good things that have happened. We're going to talk about that. And we've done something even more incredible. Is we brought in a very comedic friend of ours to spice things up, to make things delicious and hilarious, someone to help us share the good vibes. We're gonna bring him in shortly, but first of all, we have to do the Rapping with Rapscallions weekly wrap up. Joe, can you kick us off? How's your week been?
What's up, HB? I hope you can hear me. Please give me a wink if you can. Give me a wink.
Wink.
Thank you so much. All right, yo. First of all, did you answer Aquilino's question? Because Aquilino's super active on the Instagram right now. He wants to know about the tree burning song. He wants to know where he can get that. You can get that at sasspanama.bandcamp.com. sasspanama.bandcamp.com. That is from Shorty and Slim's new Christmas album. It is an amazing album. Features this song, the tree burning song with Rapscallions. Can somebody send that link through to him? Because I think we have a lot of people on there and know where to get that link. HB, if you could send it, that would be fabulous. And he can purchase that.
They want me to send it on the Instas?
On the Instas.
sasspanama.bandcamp.com.
.com.
And that's a whole Christmas album. Hey, can you tell the people out there, there was a very, very special collaboration on that song. Can you tell the people out there who?
Oh yeah, well there was a great collaboration. Shorty and Slim reached out to this amazing group, this duo of hip hoppers slash singers, balladeers, troubadours, by the name of Rapscallions, and yeah, it's us. And we're on a song called the Tree Burning Song, or Bobby Wombo, as some people call it. So check that out.
Check that out. There's a whole Christmas album. It's got chill Zonian vibe. It's got that tree burn song. And also at that link, you can find the song Panama City, which was written by who, Joe? Can you tell the people, please?
Really talented duo group, troubadours, trumpeters, singer-songwriters, you know, folk type cats called the Rapscallions.
That's us.
That's us.
All right, so wrap up. We've got a lot to cover. There were so many good things in 2020, but first we have to do our Rapping with Rapscallions weekly wrap up. And it sounds like we lost audio on Joe, so I'm going to take over for the weekly wrap up. Joe's audio is coming in and out, so while he resets that, I'm going to tell you guys that we had a Christmas. We had a very 2020 Christmas. So everyone was able to stay in their bubbles, celebrate Christmas their own way, and you know, we did that here. Our fourth chicken laid its first egg, so we're happy. 4 out of 4 chickens are laying eggs daily. So fresh eggs, fresh omelets, delicious. And what we did is we had a nice Christmas. I got this for Christmas. This is a book written by my friend Dorita Avila. Joe bought a copy as well. It's called Across a Bloodstained Xmas. Check it out. See, we both got it. And she was nice enough to give us an inscription. Isn't that cool? So we had a Christmas, and what we did was, here in Santa Clara, we ate a lot. We had a very nice meal. We had lots of food, and we had good times. Joe, do you have audio? Can you tell us about your weekly Rapscallion wrap-up?
Yes, my weekly Rapscallion wrap-up. I'm going to do it very quickly before my audio decides to cut out again. Damn you, 2020. So my week started off with a lot of movement because there were a lot of travel restrictions. Restrictions that were put in place. So that made the start to my week really chaotic. So I was really looking forward to Christmas because I needed a break. So yeah, the 24th rolled around. I managed to log off from work, which was fantastic. And then we ate some delicious food. I made some mulled wine, which is always amazing. So, you know, I got the apartment smelling all Christmassy. Whoa. And then I drank that until midnight. And then the fireworks came up. Santa Claus arrived, and I went to sleep. And then on the 25th, I just hung out and tried to have a cool,
chilled out
time. That's right.
It was a nice chill out. And speaking of chilling out, we brought someone to chill out with us. Let me flip the script, turn on the screen. Welcome, Nemo, Ricardo Agurcia. Where are you tuning in from? Tell the people.
I'm calling.
And we lost internet. Yeah. Well, if you guys are still tuned in, we'll just wait a few seconds. It's going to turn into the HB show because we're having audio video problems and internet problems, which seems to be de rigueur for this year. Hopefully these guys will be back soon. I'm testing my internet connection right now. I'll just keep talking while are you back, Nemo? Start over again. And joining us today, Ricardo Argucia from, where are you tuning in from, Nemo? Tell the people where you're tuning in from. Okay, you can't hear us. Can you hear me, Nemo?
I can hear you now, HB.
Belleza. So let's try that again. We've got a very special person here today, Ricardo Argucia. Nemo, tell us where you're tuning in from.
I'm checking in from the hometown of Tegucigalpa, Honduras, baby. We've gone international, and I'll be happy to be checking in with these two awesome artists and see what's going on with your hot-ass, awesome Christmas in Panama.
I love it. I love it. See, we've got Rapscallions has friends from all over the world. They all love tuning in. Germany, China, United States, Tegucigalpa. That's which is just a fun word to say by itself.
Teguci.
So, Teguci and Calpa. ¿Te gusta? Teguci.
Me gusta Teguci.
Yeah. So we brought you in because, 2020 has been kind of glum. Our last show was about Just Cause. That was also very serious. So we figured that we were going to turn up the comedy, bring in some comedic people. You were also a member of Improv 8 at the Theater Guild. That's where I met you.
One of my best memories, dude. What an experience.
Yeah. So we figured what we would do is we'd get the old crew back together, go over a top 10 list of funny things, or of positive things that happened during 2020. Hopefully we'll get Joe all scrubbed up, shined up like a brand new penny. He's also having internet problems, but that's okay, man. We do our breathing exercise.
That's what 2020 gives us.
That's true.
It's giving us limes. We make margaritas, That's what it is.
That's it. So, so Joe made a wonderful rundown. And until he comes back, we're just going to follow the script that Joe gave us because he did a good job. He said 2020 has been pretty terrible. As the year is winding down, let's talk about some of the good things that has happened. So, Nemo, do you have the rundown in front of you? You want to take topic number A?
I actually had just closed it because of the internet problems we were having, and I was figuring better keep as few feeds available.
I'll do while you pull it
so
up.
you start off, I'll follow you up.
I'll start it off. It says, I like how he numbered it too. 10 good things from 2020 around the world. Starting with A. The first thing on the top 10 list is A. Humanity masked up and hunkered down, saving millions of lives. That's a positive thing to me. I mean, we came together as a planet, and we were able to implement some things, implement what all the experts told us, and hindsight's 2020. But I think we did the right thing. What do you think, Nemo?
Dude, I think it was an awesome opportunity for so many fans out there to be able to dress up like Bane year long. I mean, what more do you want, man? You got those guys with those cool masks, speaking with that voice, and it was an also an opportunity, I think, for ugly people. They could hide their face mask, and you just look into their eyes and like, wow, there's so much potential there. It's like that girl from the National Geographic photo.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
no, I'm really proud of what humanity has done and how we've come ahead so far this year with everything that's come in front of us. And I think masking up really shows the good spirit in people, the faith, respect.
Absolutely. It's teamwork.
Positivity.
We're all coming together as a planning. It's positivity. And if you're feeling a little down about wearing your mask, you can do what I do when I'm shopping. I stick my tongue out at everyone, but nobody knows. And then I just start laughing. They're like, this guy's crazy. I think he's got a little, he's got something inside that mask.
Do you think they can tell when we're smiling? Like, I keep on looking at people and smiling at them. I'm like, I hope they saw my smile because I was thankful.
Yeah, that's what I do. Like, I'm still smiling at because usually when you pass someone, you give a little nod of the head, a little smile. But I always wonder myself, can you tell that just from the eyes? I do the little head nod. It's like,
or am I just kind of blind and squinting,
Yeah, maybe he's got cataracts. I don't know. His pressure in his eyeballs is building up. So I, you always do the head nod. Maybe we have to like exaggerate our eyeballs and then maybe we'll do some hello. I always wanted to make a short where, two people are passing in the shopping, and they have their masks on, and then they bump their carts together, and the woman's mask falls off, and she's got like the predator mouth, and then the guy's like, huh! And then he takes his off, and he's got a predator mouth too, and true love is found. So
nice. It's a chance for predators to come out. Then they can be free.
You can bring out the beauty in your eyeballs. So another thing that Joe wrote down here, for the most part, people around the world showed empathy and concern for one another. Very true. That's what we've been saying. What Nemo's been saying. And Joe's typing to me on the WhatsApp, which seems to be working. But also, you know what? It's a shout out to all the doctors and the healthcare workers in the world. Nemo, share some opinions. What have you been going through up in Tegucigalpa during this? We got to give a shout out to all the healthcare workers.
Yeah, really, man. They're like, they keep on calling them the front line, like military terms, because these people are putting their life on the line every single moment, every single day. I've got a bunch of friends, doctors, and they've got the wear and tear from the masks in their faces, and they still keep on getting out there because they're showing their true colors. These are people dedicated 10 years or whatever of their lives to be the professionals they are, and now is the time when they're most in need, and they're not backing down. They're putting in hours like crazy. They're separating themselves from their family constantly, and they need an appreciation. These people are amazing. They've got true hearts.
True hearts. Speaking of true hearts, looks like Joe's back. He looks a little consternated. Can you give us an audio check, Joe?
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
I
Oof.
got that.
Great, man. I'll tell you what, man. If internet was a person, I would punch it in the face, man.
I'd kick it somewhere else, you know.
Yeah, we'll jump on and give it some of these. So
Seriously, dude.
we hit on the top 10 list, the beautiful top 10 list that you made up. We started with the first point, which is point A: humanity masked up and hunkered down, saving millions of lives. What do you opine about the situation? We got to give our shout outs where they're due.
Oh no,
And we lost. That's joking.
2020. Boo, boo,
2020.
boo.
2020.
20.
It's not gonna let us. It's not gonna let us escape without a little more comedy. So
Yeah.
moving right along, and I like this point, because not only am I a fan of the world coming together, and also a fan of getting things done, but women leaders got the job done. A lot of the countries in the world that showed the greatest response to the COVID-19 pandemic were countries led with prime ministers led by women. Jacinda Ardern comes to mind from New Zealand. I think the lady in Iceland too, and of course we got
she's
Mutti
awesome.
over in Germany. Mutti,
Angela Merkel.
Angela Merkel, she's always kicking butt. So let's get some more women in there. We got our first vice president-elect female, Kamala Harris. Congratulations. So let's make 2021 the year where men recognize the power and the intelligence of the ladies. Oh,
At
Sanna Marin in Finland also won praise for her early response.
Yeah. True stories, man. It's a time of change that we're looking forward to. I'm glad these leaders came ahead to give an example of why more women should be in places of leadership, power, whatever it is it takes.
Exactly, I agree with you. We're limiting ourselves to half of the population, and the whole other half. Imagine what amazing things they could do if we all open our hearts. Speaking of opening our hearts, something that happened in Latin America was several countries passed equality in marriage laws, where equal rights in marriage has become more acceptable in Latin America, where historically it's been very unaccepted. So opening our hearts is something that's happening more in 2021, or as we reach 2021. What's the climate like there in Tegucigalpa? Are there any future women leaders? Is marriage equality on the books?
No, we've got our hands full on other subjects, dealing with the governments that we have right now, and there's a lot of negative news to go around that we really don't want to get into. But I look forward to hopeful new female leaders taking place, because really the leadership that we've had for the past, 4 governments, 16 years has been terrible. It's been terrible, and you don't really see female leadership in it. There's been a few examples of like female congresswomen, but they haven't made a good name for themselves really. So there's a few of them. There are a few diamonds in the rough there, but we definitely can see more of that coming in the future. And I like the idea of inclusion, I think that's going to be very important for our society, and it's going to be a growing role in the next decade.
Excellent. It looks like Joe's back to rap with us. Joe, can you give us an audio check, brother?
What's up, man? Can you guys hear me? Please say yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
For now.
For now. No, I'm on my phone now, so this should hopefully not cut out. Aquilino, thank you for offering me internet. If you want to sponsor the internet on Rapping with Rapscallions, HB and I would be more than happy to have you sponsor us. So reach out to us. We'll give you shout outs every single Sunday at 3 p.m.
Yeah. So
Sponsorific.
All right, so Joe, thanks for tuning back with us. We're glad you got that ironed out. So we went on to women leaders, got the job done. Do you have any positive things to say about that?
Positive things to say, man. I can't say enough about women leaders, man. I think you guys were having a good chat about that earlier. But let me just say, Angela Merkel, I love that woman. Like, seriously, I think if there was somebody I would choose to be like president of the planet, it would have to be her. Because that lady has put up with so much crap since she became prime minister of Germany, man. And she's just handled it all. And I'm gonna be very sad to see her go. I mean, she likes football. She's good with people. You gotta make tough decisions, man. You gotta make tough decisions. Um, Not everyone's gonna like them, but I'll be sad to see her go. And Jacinda Ardern, what can you say about her, man? New Zealand got COVID on lock months ago. Months ago. So I mean, hopefully some of our male leaders would take would follow some of those examples and see like, hey, you know what? I really like what she's doing. Let me try and, take some of that on board and try and do the things the way that they're doing them. I mean, unfortunately, we've had our male leaders, we can name all of them. And all of them have been just kind of like, if I get COVID, I'm going to walk around the streets because my job is to be with the people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. Well, it's been like a parade of dumbasses, male leaders throughout the years. So,
Bravado, machismo, COVID, man.
That's
Nothing
right.
on me. I can take this down personally.
Hey, man,
it's time we start using our brains.
If they were all as fit as LeBron James, then maybe I would be like, okay, because I think if LeBron would get COVID, he'd probably just like laugh it off. But I don't know that many people that are as fit as LeBron James, at least personally. So I don't know.
What do you think would happen if Chuck Norris caught COVID?
Oh man, COVID would catch Chuck Norris, dude. For sure.
That's right. You catch a flying kick to the face. That's what would happen.
True that. God.
There'd be like cells fly kicking COVID particles everywhere.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the vaccine right there. We just have Chuck Norris kick COVID out of the earth.
Seriously, man, that's the smartest thing I've heard so far.
All right. So okay, there we go. We're gonna get Joe tuned in here. You got your top of your head chopped off, Joe. Why don't you? There you go.
Which is this good angle? Should I leave it like this? Is this good? Does this work?
Okay, I'll make it work. There we go.
Thanks,
By the way, we're all ready for New Year's. We're all wearing our guayaberas and button-down shirts.
Looking fresh, man.
We're looking fresh. We're looking tight and clean.
That's right.
So what's next on the top 10 list? We already did on top 10 list. We did A and B.
All right, humanity, got hunkered down, saving lives. People came together, women leaders. I guess the next one will be carbon emissions falling around the world.
This is my favorite one. I love to give shout outs to around the world, but one of the positive things for me was the opportunity to see that if we leave the earth alone, she'll heal herself. We got to stop contaminating. We have to stop shitting where we eat. Pardon my French. So what does that mean? If carbon emissions fell throughout there. What does that mean, Joe? What does that mean, Nemo? Somebody explain it to me, please.
Well, I think we can say from the forefront, there weren't that many fossil fuels being emitted into the atmosphere. People weren't traveling, people weren't in airplanes, people weren't in cars, because everybody was locked in their homes, right?
Right.
So none of these toxic gases were making their way up into the skies.
That's true. If there's something I don't like, it's toxic gases. There's way too many of those, and a lot of those are coming from our male leaders. To tell you the truth, toxic gases.
It's true.
Let's get some female leaders up there.
Seriously.
That's completely right, man. I think.
Go ahead, Benito.
Go ahead. I was going to say, our world's gotten a little bit greener, Plants got a chance to grow further, get less cut down, put more oxygen out there, take in some more of that carbon dioxide. And what I like personally most, the fauna. The fauna got to get a breather, encroach upon urbanization and civilization. They were saying, you guys are slowing down, let us come back out a bit here. Take it out.
That's right. This is like reindeer running through the street during Christmas. There was reports of dolphins going in Italy and Venice. You know, I don't think that's
Was
happened
that
for
true though?
hundreds
I
of
don't know if that
years.
was true. I wish it was true. I don't know if that was true though.
Was that fake news?
I don't know.
Okay,
But it was
okay,
good
I
fake
retract
news.
that statement.
No, but it was good fake news.
Yeah, yeah. Positive fake news. Is there such thing as positive fake news?
What you just said.
Yeah.
Great whites were chilling around Florida. You know, it was awesome.
Hey,
Yeah,
they weren't
great
eating
whites were
people.
out
People
there.
go into the water and they'd be like, "Hey, I'm not gonna eat you because of COVID." And people were like, "All right, great, man."
Yeah, the sharks are like, ew, they're nasty.
I was
That
thinking
guy
about
doesn't wash
seals.
his hands. He doesn't wear his mask. He doesn't social distance.
Icky, icky.
Icky, icky. So, you know, what we saw globally was because of the quarantine, people had to stay at home. It was dramatic. It was like a kind of an instant reduction in carbon emissions. Just to recap what Joe and Nemo said, we're stuck at home. We're not in our cars every day. So you know, I think we have another. Okay, can we jump to G? I think G's related to this one.
Yeah, let's go to G, man. Let's go to
Getting
G.
spicy.
Straight up to G.
Straight up the gangster.
That's right. We started a work from home revolution, and you know that goes hand in hand with number C on the top 10 list. We started the show because of that. You know, Joe and I were stuck at home. Joe showed me an article saying that podcasts and video casts were the new wave during the pandemic. So we started rapping with Rapscallions. And here we are 25 episodes later, averaging around 3,000 views a week. Hey, the Workhome Revolution, the humanity had to swivel. Humanity was forced to find another way to get to work. And in doing so, we had carbon emission drops. So let's drill down into this work from home revolution. What do you guys have to say about that?
I'll let you go. All right, thanks, Sarge. Listen, I think that it's funny because initially I think most bosses, at least here in Panama, Nemo, you can let us know if it was the same thing in Honduras, when they thought working from home, they thought people were going to go home and do jack. That you were just going to sit around and be like, I'm working from home, my computer's on. But man, I think just like that. I think people have actually been working more and have been more productive since they started working from home. And I think while it's a positive, it has also become a bit of a negative. We're not going to go into the negative today, though. But you know, it's crazy. But I think it's just incredible how you've seen how people have become much more productive. They don't have to make that commute to work anymore, which at least here in Panama, if you had to drive into an office, sometimes you're spending 45 minutes to an hour sitting in your car trying to get to work. For people that live outside of the city, they'd be like, waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning to try and get to their offices by 8? Give me a break, man.
That's awful. That's horrible. Horrible.
Terrible. There's no work-life balance. So
No.
I think it's been really good and productive to see so many people be able to work from home and be like, hey, you know what? We are being productive, Mr. Boss, man or woman. You know, we're not just sitting at home watching Netflix and pretending to work. I see you.
Take that, capitalism.
Right.
Well, what you said it right there, linking it back to the point we were talking about in Group C, commutes died down. That was less emissions moving everywhere, right? We've seen a lot less commerce, air travel. People didn't have to move to other countries or other cities or other locations to get work done. It was all done virtually. We've kind of like fast forwarded into the future. You saw Zoom take off like nobody's business. What an amazing company, what an amazing development and tool for humanity. And it's wonderful to see it get used and be so productive.
Truth.
Totally,
Truth.
man.
And you know, in addition to that, we've seen people, farmers have reported that people are asking for food that is produced locally. So that reduces the amount of emissions made when they're trying to truck in some lettuce from 500 miles away, when there's perfectly good lettuce available 5 miles away. You know, so I think that's another positive note is farm fresh type stuff has seen an uptick.
And you know
as a
what?
consequence of yeah,
People have also been starting to buy locally more this year. I think people have bought locally more than they ever have in 2020.
I agree.
You know, a lot of these
Definitely.
upstart companies on Instagram and all these that started making just things, and you were like, hey, that's really pretty. I'm gonna buy that. I mean,
It's
granted,
true.
Amazon has also made
Doesn't
billions of dollars, but still.
Well, let me chip in on that. For example, in Honduras, there's during COVID been a sprout of local stand-up corner shops that provide you fruits and vegetables, or a truck that's driving by locally delivering what they produce in the mountains nearby. And that's amazing. You know, shout out to helping out your local producers and shopping with your local grocers. And really, it's a win-win. You're getting fresher fruits and vegetables straight from your little producers over here, and bypassing what was the already super busy and crowded supermarkets.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. So that's like twofold. We don't we're getting fresher food, threefold. Fresher food. We can avoid supermarkets and the agglomerations in the supermarkets, and we're avoiding the fossil fuel emissions of trucking all that stuff hundreds of miles when that's completely unnecessary. So maybe you know, we had a little wake up here, wake up call.
Are we
Ooh, I
cheering?
don't
Are
have
we going to cheer to the threefold win? Win, win, win.
threefold. Let's just
Hold
cheer
on,
for the
hold on, hold
threefold.
on, hold on. I'm getting there. You gotta give me a minute to prep.
All right.
We got a prep minute.
Mixologist here.
This was an improvised.
What
Yeah.
what are we drinking here, Nemo? What do we got in that crunk cup there?
I got a little bit of some, as you rum fans, as I know you are rum fans, and I'm sipping a little bit of Bacardi Oak Crest. I'm not a big Bacardi fan, but with the Oak Cart, they really hit it off the bat. It's a sweet rum, um, which they've aged in oak barrels, so it tastes a lot like a whiskey, like a sweet whiskey. And you can sip on that with a little bit of water and ice, and magnifique.
Belleza, belleza,
Belleza.
magnifique. Joe, what are you sipping? What's your crunk today?
I've got my crunk is Ronabuelo Siete Años with some Coke, dog.
Sody pop. I've been addicted to the old Abuelo 12-year-old. They've had it on special for like the past 3 weeks. It's like $22. You can't beat that.
Can't
And
beat
I'm
that,
just
man.
taking little
Cheers.
Sippy
schnippies
sip.
of it.
The bargains.
And
Swivel
future
it around my
sponsors.
mouth.
And future sponsors,
Hey,
such as cable and wireless
Yeah.
internet and Ronabuelo.
and I like it. So speaking of internet, what's our next point, Joe?
Dude, the internet passed the ultimate stress test this year, man. That's point H on our list. Since we're going all over the place, we might as well do it big. So we were talking about Zoom earlier, and Google Meet, and FaceTime, and Skype. Man, how did Zoom? I wish I would have bought stock in Zoom in January, because I had never heard of this
Exactly.
company until like March, when all of a sudden every single meeting I was attending was on Zoom. Crazy.
Incredible.
And not even
And
working.
successful. It's crazy how successful it was.
Yeah. And simple to use, right? Like you don't have to download anything. You just send a link, you access it, and not just for work, but also for social gatherings. How many of us have not been on social gatherings with friends from all over the world? They've been closer than ever now. Closer than ever.
I did a play over Zoom.
Boom. Truth.
So I do, you know, the president of yeah, we did Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. That was fun. So, you know, I looked into this guy with the Zoom because I was like, where did this come from? I never used Zoom before. So what, like you said, it's easy to use. The guy, he worked for a company and Cisco bought them up. That's their, I think it's their Connect now. I don't know. When that company got bought up by Cisco, they got kind of buried in the corporate lifestyle. So he kind of split off from them and he said, I'm going to make my own video conferencing thing, and I'm going to make it easy. One, it's got to be easy to use. And two, we gotta make it for the consumer. We got to listen to our consumers. And one of the reasons they think that it became so popular is because he took the time limits out of it. Where everything else had like an hour limit or a 30-minute limit. Zoom, one, was easy to use. Two, you could have more than 5 people in it. I think you can have like 30 people or something. And three, there was no time limits on it when the pandemic hit. So what other type of things did we see? The internet stress test. How did we test the internet during the pandemic?
I think it's amazing with all the people that were using it as well. Because now you also had, people working from home. You had students who were studying from home, all on the internet. I mean, it was one of those things where I think if we would have thought about it 10 years ago even, we would have been like, will the internet hold up with so many people being on it?
Impossible.
Yeah, yeah, and it did, and it was amazing because I mean, even though, imagine if the pandemic had never happened, would we have made the time to speak to so many people overseas as we have this year?
I don't think we would
Probably
have.
not.
No way. No way.
Probably not.
I've got an example. The
Do it.
internet is Bradley Cooper. The title, Limitless.
Oh,
Limitless.
snap! Truth,
The internet took its pills.
truth,
Way to go, internet.
truth,
Yeah, like some little vitamins.
Yeah.
truth.
Took its vitamins. It had its
Vitamins,
shot of
yeah.
rum.
Vitamins.
And the movie industry had to swivel. There's no theaters. What happened to all these big blockbuster films that come out during Christmas time? They had to figure out another way to do it. And I think streaming, not only streaming TV, Netflix, Mandalorian got a big following. Netflix has all kinds of movies. And then all these major blockbusters came out. And I think it was a Disney animated film. I don't remember which one, but they charged $14 to watch it at home. And they made
Trolls.
money. So, was it Trolls?
Was it?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
Trolls 2.
I think Mulan also charged.
Oh, Mulan, yeah, also.
Yeah.
So I think the internet kind of globalized movie distribution. These guys figured out we can't follow the old model, where there's restrictions on seeing this in this country and you can't distribute that in that country. It's so outdated. The internet has globalized us, and we've been forced to stay home. We're ready to chow down on. We're ready to eat up that digital content. So let's have it.
That's right, man. That's right. I think it was pretty incredible. I think it's been pretty. Yeah, I think even here in Panama, the internet has managed to hold up in most occasions. So that's been
Yeah.
pretty good. And also, it gives you a brilliant excuse if you don't want to participate in a meeting. You're just like, "What's that? I can't hear you. My internet's not working."
Is that what's happening today, Joe? Is that a Freudian slip? What's going on here?
Oops.
Hey Nemo, you want to join the Rapscallions? I think
Yeah. Is there a sudden availability?
there might be an opening coming up. We're about to do our VH1 Where Are They Now episode.
Another 2020 little side effect.
No way,
Casualty.
man.
Not a problem.
No,
But,
I just want to put out there.
Be like one of those like, I can't hear you. It's like, well, why isn't your headphone plugged in?
Yeah.
but thinking about it, I also want to give a shout out and so much thanks to Netflix and Disney Plus and all those people that put out so much content online. Think about if this would have caught us 5 years ago. This pandemic hadn't happened in over 100 years, right?
Yeah.
And we've got all this content to survive, to go through this whole pandemic. It was like, wow, that's not bad. Not bad, guys.
Yeah. No, not at all,
Yeah,
man.
what-
Not
what's
at all.
not like Animal Crossings became the most popular game in the history because it's something you can do on lockdown. Like I don't even know how to play. You have like a dog? You're like a vet or something? I don't know. But anyway, a lot of people came together on Animal Crossing. This has become the most popular game in the history of Nintendo.
Unity.
Unity.
That's right.
We actually participated in Karina and I did. It was called 40 los cuarentenas or something like that. But the premise was 40 in the 40s. What we did is that there was 40 script writers in different countries, and then they picked 40 directors in different countries, and everyone had to film everything at home, send the footage in, and there was 20 different editors and 20 different sound engineers, and they edited it all together and they launched it. So that was a pretty cool experience. Our episode was called Temporada de Mango because I had tons of mangoes here in the yard, so we decided to do our episode about mango season. That was a lot of fun, and it was kind of cool because the director, we we got a high chair, the taburetes, the high leather chairs from Panama. We put a laptop on it, and she tuned in via Zoom, and everywhere we carried her around the house and the yard as far as the Wi-Fi would connect, and then she's like, okay, turn it to the left, turn it to the right. Okay, you're gonna do this here, here, and here. And so it was kind of like the future when they have those virtual meetings, and it's just the monitor,
The head.
just the head. So that was kind of neat. That was a new experience, and it kind of shows you what's capable, what humans are capable when they express their creativity. Everything's possible.
For sure, man.
Positive news all around, man. I'm so happy. Look at this, man.
Yeah,
It's beautiful. You look a little
Sure.
closer, all kinds of positive shiznicky.
no doubt, man. People are definitely picking up the creative notch, trying to express themselves.
Yeah.
Because I think ultimately a lot of people want to do that, particularly artists. You're going through this like terrible time. As an artist, you want to express yourself, express your thoughts, express your feelings.
Oh, that's true. Like Instagram Live had like concerts where like I remember one lady and she's a cello player here in Panama. She every day at 6 she would open her sliding glass door and play songs, and then when she was done, you hear all the neighbors clapping and stuff. That was pretty neat.
I think that was one of the coolest things probably at the beginning, right? Where you saw even in Italy as well and other countries that people would have like balcony concerts.
Hmm. Yeah, and we had balcony concerts. We had a lot of artists come together doing virtual concerts. And again, I tuned in a few times. Like, we had some time on our hands, and a lot of places. I think it was the theaters in New York had their operas. Their most famous operas were available. One night only. You could tune in and watch an opera that would cost you hundreds and hundreds of dollars to see in person. But because of quarantine, they made that available. So I checked out some opera, and I've never been able to see. I've been very limited in what I've been able to see. But so not only are we able to connect, but we're also able to enrich ourselves by trying new things, even though we're locked in our homes.
Sure.
I mean, it's a sense of evolution, right? Like we were facing adversity, and rather than sitting down, sucking it up, complaining about it or whatever, people found ways to go about it, come over, get over this hump, keep on being creative, keep on producing. Don't slow down, don't stop. COVID 2020 stopped me? No.
No, man.
We'll
you
still
gotta
here
keep
be together.
going.
There's still stuff to share. Yeah.
Sure. For sure. You still gotta live your life,
Yeah.
man.
Some people are writing sketches at home right now, and we'll see these come out in 2021, thanks to all the time they had in 2020.
True story.
Yeah. Like probably some sketch comedy shows could be put on. They could be
Good materials.
streamed.
Good materials just
Tons
waiting
of
to
good
crack
material.
open.
Yeah. on
I've heard some
80%
songs, like COVID songs in Panama have been pretty spot, man.
Yeah, there's been some good material from Panamanian rappers coming out.
right.
Tiempos de COVID, tiempos de
right.
cuarentena,
Tiempo de Corona. Yeah. Tiempo de Corona. my
Times of
favorite
Corona.
song for sure
tiempo
this
de
year.
corona.
I sing in the shower.
Do your neighbors clap though when you're done?
They're like, yeah,
Not close enough. But my dog likes
They're
it.
like,
That's all
Alex
that
is like,
counts
he's
anymore.
going into the shower. It's time for the song. He's just there waiting by the door.
You see,
Everyone-
he'll get
everyone's
up on
like,
two legs and spin, man. He'll get up on two legs and spin. Times of Corona.
Hey, man, so how about
Ain't that right? Ain't that right, boy? Come here. Give him a shout out.
Is anyone keeping track of the letters that were? Maybe we'll spell out something because we're jumping around so much.
I don't know,
Well,
man.
we skipped E. I know we skipped E because
A,
I was liking
B,
that one.
C, G.
Yeah. Oh, puppy
All right.
alert.
Yeah,
What's
cuteness
up,
overload.
Pooch? What's that fine pooch's name?
This fine boy here is Atlas. He's a huge fan of Times of Corona and the sweetest person I've ever found in COVID.
Oh,
That's awesome. So you guys got together during COVID?
No, I actually got him last year, but I haven't met anyone sweeter than this guy during COVID.
That's nice. So hey, that's another positive thing is we've been locked up with our loved ones and our seres queridos. So we've all been able to connect, maybe enrich our relationships, get over speed bumps, which are bound to happen. But we've been locked up with the people who usually we are not able to spend time with. I know a lot of my friends have been able to spend lots of quality time with their kids and have found very enriching relationships with their children. I have been having a great time. We have chickens and sheep. And
Your family got
and
big.
I've also what's that?
Your family got big over quarantine, man.
My family got big and furry and feathery.
Multiplying like rabbits.
Exactly. So what's the next point on our list? So we're all coming together even though we're apart.
True that, man. True that. Well said. I think Nemo liked point E. Drugs are becoming legal.
Yeah. I think that was huge. That was a winner. I know particularly my brother personally in Florida, it helps him a lot deal with this situation. Legalization of Mary Jane and the such, and edibles is the most recent one. And so, yeah, you guys kick it off and I'll chip in a little more afterwards.
Okay. So a lot of places in the United States had medical marijuana. They had recreational marijuana, and some states even did that. And Florida has medical marijuana, and they're finding, after so many years of demonization, that marijuana and cannabis have been very helpful for people, not only in pain management, because a lot of the opiates, there's a huge opiate epidemic in the United States and around the world. But that type of pain management ultimately will damage your liver. So finding an alternative in cannabis has helped a lot of people. Also in mental health, rapscallions are very big on mental health, especially during the quarantine. We did a whole show on mental health, and I think you all found out that we're actually quite crazy. That's
right.
okay. Everybody
That's okay.
crazy.
No doubt.
Everybody
Crazies
crazy.
are the best.
Yeah,
That's right.
I think it's a very interesting movement for sure. This whole movement with drugs, and I think it shows how much I think the tide is turning with regards to and we discussed it last time in our show about the invasion of Panama, the whole war on drugs that Reagan started in the U.S. many years ago. It was kind of seen like drugs are. Oh, we've got another special guest.
Who's that lovely
This is-
beaut?
This is Margaret Hatcher.
The
Margaret,
Prime
do you
Minister.
have any words for the crowd?
Keep those
What
eggs
is it?
chugging, Margaret.
What does she think about legalized drugs?
She thinks it's quacktastic. Oh, wrong species.
Clucktacular.
Clucktacular. Clucktacular.
She's camera shy. She totally froze. She was clicking right before.
Uh-huh.
She's got a built-in stabilizer. Check it out.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Nature at its
So
finest,
Margaret
man.
Hatcher's very happy. She just wanted to give you guys a shout out. She's all about positivity and happiness and being healthy. She likes to. She says every morning she likes to get out, do her exercise, eat some frog poop, dig around, eat some cockroaches and whatnot.
Find
I've
some
heard
worms.
cockroaches are
It's
the
a hard
food of
cluck
the
life.
pussy, man.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, man.
Insects.
I think with our
It's a
next
hard cluck
pandemic,
life.
if our next pandemic kills all foods, we're gonna be eating cockroaches.
Oh, I think they're raising grasshoppers for that. In Mexico, they have chapulines that become. They predict that that's going to be our greatest source of protein in the future, and that does remind me of something. They said that the bee populations have rebounded during the pandemic. Who doesn't love the bees?
That's such great news, man. Shout out to them pollen spreading honey lovers.
Shout out to
That's
the bees,
right.
dog.
Who doesn't love a little honey? Makes everything nice.
Shout out.
I love my baby honeys.
For sure, man. For sure. Drugs.
Yeah. And getting back to the sense on drugs, man, we're taking, I think, power or money off the hands of people who you don't want to have it in illegal crime activity or whatever, speaking of drug traffickers or money laundering, and giving it to the government, to the population to manage it in a better way. So you're decriminalizing it, and I think there's going to be much more support towards any side effects that could be or consequences from the negativity of drugs. And more than that, we're gonna, I think, get better at using them and managing them than they were before. So I've always been a fan of decriminalizing, legalizing, and that'll be a better effect, particularly for our populations. I think in Central America, they're so vulnerable to the trafficking between the South American and North American countries. So there's positive effects all around. There's the medicinal side that people are loving. There's consequences or spillover effects from that are going to be really sensational. So I'm really looking forward to that. So kudos to all those states and the states that are doing that for us.
Absolutely,
man.
I agree with you 100%. We touched on that last week with Noriega about the supposed
Cara de
war on
piña.
drugs. Cara de piña, yeah.
Right.
He
Can you
came.
imagine?
He was charged for, yeah.
Yeah,
I
no,
can.
sorry, go ahead.
What am I imagining?
No, I was like, can you imagine, in a couple of years, say if Noriega would have lived now with all of his access to drugs and stuff, he could have had like a podcast and they would have called him the El Marihuanero, and he would talk to you about the different types of marijuanas you could use, the different things, and the flavors and the smells, and he would have been like a total hipster.
He could have named his show like Arroz con Piña.
Nice. General
Great,
hipster.
man. He would have been a total hipster, and people would have been like, "Hey, did you listen to Noriega's podcast?" And he would have been like, "Dude, I didn't know marijuana had so many flavors. I totally treated the poached pears." Wow.
I think I'm gonna do a deep fake of that. I'm gonna get like the mask of Noriega and do a hipster podcast. Yeah, so
Anyway,
just to finish my thought, we talk about the war on drugs and how negative it was, and how Central and South America are to blame for forcing so many drugs into the United States. It's BS. People are going to take their drugs and they're going to find a way to take them. The answer is not throwing people in jail. Yeah. Give me. The answer is not throwing people in jail. There's a certain percentage of the population that are going to have an addictive nature. I think it's 12%. And usually that's related to mental health issues, depression and anxiety. So if we address those issues first and foremost, instead of sending war machines overseas and wasting millions and millions of dollars, I think that's a better, more proactive approach to the United States drug problem and the world's drug problem. So decriminalizing drugs is a good, marijuana is a good first step, positive. A lot of people are finding help. I spoke to someone who contracted COVID, and he survived it with very few side effects. But now he can't breathe. Like anytime there's any exhaust from a car, or someone smoking, or like campfire or something like that, he just can't breathe. It burns his whole lungs, and the only thing that gives him relief is sublingual cannabis drops. It's a great anti-inflammatory. Everything opens up and he can breathe again. It's natural. So all kinds of good things happening.
Pretty incredible,
Preach,
man.
HB.
For sure. Yeah, for sure, man.
So
All right.
we got drugs are becoming legal. There's a few other points that you put here.
That's right, man.
There's been a
Let's
lot
go
of
to-
studies about shrooms.
Yeah.
They're finding
Hey,
out that mushrooms are good against PTSD and depression.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine? There's a lot of people that cannot deal with, they'll say like, you'll try a lot of psychological ways to deal with depression and PTSD, but some people just can't. I mean, it's not possible to deal with it in that way. So why not?
Hey, let's try everything. The earth will provide for us. We're just we just decided years and years ago that this is good and this is bad, and now we found out that all these pharmaceuticals really aren't that good for you. They're kind of masking everything, and there's another way to kind of treat that. So
Right.
keep your eyes open and keep your opinions open on new things.
That's right, man. Hey, this next point I think is pretty incredible considering the times that we're living in, and it's about the Black Lives Matter and it becoming the biggest mass movement in history. I think it's been pretty incredible how our eyes have opened this year I mean, the planet's eyes have opened this year with regards to racism and the problems that we have in our societies. I mean, if you guys can remember, everything that happened in the 60s with the civil rights movement, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, you know, all these people, all these movements that were trying to ensure equal rights for everyone. And the fact that we're still in 2020 and we're still fighting this war, this battle, is incredible. So for me to see how people reacted to this, to Black Lives Matter, it was, I mean, first of all, I was
That's
concerned
scary.
because, of course, it's in the middle of a pandemic, so you don't want people protesting and getting sick and, dying or anything like that. But just the fact that they were doing it masked, they were taking care of themselves. None of the protests, I think, were considered to be super spreader events, as far as I'm aware. Not like some events that happened at the White House. But,
Oklahoma.
so I mean, it's very unfortunate that bad things had to happen for these protests to take place. But the fact that it's created such a need within people to say, you know what, things aren't working correctly. We need to make change has been pretty incredible. I mean, I know we haven't seen protests in a while, but just the way that people, I mean, and I think it brought people together, most definitely, in a way that hasn't happened before, and people genuinely want good things to happen, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you bring up a lot of good points, Joe, and it reminds me of when Obama was elected, there was a little bit of contention there, and in an interview, Will Smith I always remember this. He said, you know, I go to marriage counseling with my wife, and it always starts with an argument, but that it starts the talking. You got to start the talking somehow. So many, like you said, so many years have gone by since equal rights movement, and it feels like we've barely moved forward. If sometimes when people aren't listening, sometimes you got to shout. So
Yeah.
you got to stand up, you got to shout. So I think we need to take this. We need to shut up and listen and try to figure out how we're going to move forward. How come we haven't been able to make more progress since the civil rights movement? What I mean, that was a long time ago, you know? So,
And I think it's
absolutely,
very interesting
Black Lives
because
Matter is a big positive thing during
I
2020.
think a lot of people thought when Barack Obama was elected president back in was it 2008, they were like, "Oh, it shows his first term." It was like, "Oh, this shows that we have moved past racism." But I mean, no, it's still there. It's still out
Still
there.
there.
It's still a problem, and it's still something that we have to deal with. And I think if that's a definitely big positive thing out of 2020 is that we are more aware of that now than we ever have in the past, and hopefully change will come from it. Fingers crossed.
Absolutely. We got to start loving each other. We're all neighbors on Earth.
That's
We're
right,
not
man.
we're not separated by boundaries. We live with each other. We gotta make life worth we gotta make life tolerable for the people who live around us, you know?
For sure,
Life
man.
can be pretty
Empathy.
crappy if you let it.
What an
Totally.
odd year for it to happen too, right?
Yeah. 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 Of all the years for it to happen, it had to be this year. Incredible.
Right.
And the
What's
So
this?
and
There's
ramifications.
the ramifications. I wanted to talk about that, but it's something political. I'm not sure if we want to go into something political to go, into
Yeah,
this. Maybe a little
drop it.
sensitive.
you
But
throw
think
dirt if
about it.
you
I
want,
mean,
man. Come on.
BLM, 2020, COVID, it all happens election year in the United States after probably one of the most divisive or polarizing presidencies there's been, or definitely the one that I've lived through,
No
I don't
doubt. No doubt.
know any other in recent history that could even compare to this. So we saw it reflected in the election. And so I think it's something positive that we see it, that we recognize this difference, we recognize the separation, we recognize the division, the polarization, and the people came out, and they came out in masses. It's historic amount of voters that came out, and and the results were consensus. It was
Yeah.
clear this presidency had to end, and it ended. And hopefully, that's a sign of healing to come, along with the vaccines and COVID. That what you guys are saying is it's not falling on deaf ears. It's coming true, and I'm positive and hopeful for it.
I think you said like just to point out a few key words that you said, polarizing. There's it was extremely polarizing, and I don't think that's a healthy way to move forward. And to see the level of unrest that happened in the middle of a pandemic, you have to notice that. You have to let that sink in for a minute. And, you know, as far as my political views, I love throwing some dirt to me. So I don't know which side to vote for, but I hope that we have taken the first step towards being less polarized and moving together towards making the world a better place. You know? Looks like we've lost some internet, and we're back.
Woo, that was
Man,
quick.
you know what I just said? I said the most amazing speech. It brought the world together. The aliens that were tuning, you know, the Mars rover is a big fan of ours. He was listening. He broadcasted it to the Martians. They were like, HB, that's the most amazing thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
So, man, I hope you guys could just think about the words that I just said, and we're able to think about it, you know? Just think about it. Take it in. You don't just, it's going to take you a while to process all that knowledge and wisdom I just dropped, but you can do it if you take the time.
No doubt. It's all about taking
That's all I
the
got to
time,
say
man.
about that.
It's all about taking the time. And you know who's going to take the time to sponsor us in 2021 to provide us with better internet? Cable and Wireless Panama. Aquilino, we're looking forward to your proposal.
Oh, nice. Cable and wireless.
Sweet
Help us
home
with that connection.
Alabama.
I've got a shout out. Guess who's tuned in, Joe? Sue Norman. She's like, greetings, guys. Just joining you.
Hey.
Faithful, Fam Scallion.
Sam Scally, man. We love Sue.
We love Sue. Thank you for joining in. Her son, Dan Norman. Excellent episode about megastructures and the expansion of the canal. Scroll down on our Rapscallions page and you'll find that episode and other ones. Guaranteed you'll enjoy it. Lots of knowledge in that one.
Sure, man.
What's our next point? We talked about drugs. We talked about Black Lives Matter. We talked about unrest and reunification and polarization.
HB, let me tell you
What else,
something.
man? What else is going
You
on?
talked about the
Tell
Mars rover, man.
Yes.
And you know what happened in 2020? We took
What?
historic steps into space, dog.
Amazing.
Who would have thought
I'm
that
ready
in
to blast
2020?
off.
Who would have thought that in 2020 we'd still be talking about space? I mean, when was it that the U.S. landed on the moon? That Neil Armstrong landed on the moon for the
69, 68?
Man,
Where's the research department?
Man, I would have thought we'd already had like homes on the moon, like timeshares
I was
on the moon,
promised
man.
a space. I was promised as a little kid. I was promised a moon base, and damn it, I want my moon base.
Sorry, man. I mean,
July 20th, 1969 was the first was the moon landing.
Yeah. I've got my broom ready still to just get out there and start sweeping it, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
How crazy, man.
So yeah, it's talking more about space. Like I said, I was promised a moon base, and I was supposed to be there already. I wanted to leave this Earth and travel past the Van Allen belt, get all that delicious galactic radiation.
Eat
But
it.
you know what? We kind of stalled out.
We did,
But
man.
amidst a pandemic, lots of great things happen as far as space exploration. We have a reusable rocket thanks to SpaceX.
Elon Musk,
And
man.
then just recently we had we sent for the first time from the United States a live crew to the International Space Station. We used to hop rides on the Russian Soyuz rockets.
That's right.
So not only were we the first ones to get to the moon, the United States. I always say us. It was probably one of the biggest events in many years.
Dude,
So during a
people
pandemic,
were so excited. People were excited, man, and I think it brought back that sense of wonder, right? Of like, man, what is possible in the future? I mean, I think another thing that happened because the SpaceX thing was huge, man. Everybody was like, whoa, we're going into space. But I think scientists
Revolutionary.
That's right, man. Scientists from Japan, they took a piece of rock from an asteroid. They actually had a thing land on an asteroid, grab a rock, and land the asteroid without like destroying itself. How do you do that?
I mean, you know who loves that most? Steve Buscemi. He would have loved that to happen in Armageddon.
Exactly. I'm a
Totally.
freaking kidding.
Totally.
You would have ridden that rock home.
That's a
And,
fact.
and you know, there's another poor what's the guy from Amazon? He has his space program too, doesn't he?
Jeff
Jeff
Bezos?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Let me
Virgin
send that
Galactic.
to the research.
Virgin Galactic, I know, is out there trying to get that space travel going.
Richard Branson?
And that's what Richard Branson.
Blue
yeah.
Origin. Richard Branson's got Virgin Galactic. Bezos has Blue Origin.
Wow.
So everyone's looking towards space.
I think there's a message about the future there, guys.
That we're going
Space.
to wait 40 more years before we go to the moon again?
I believe
And-
that space is the
And
future.
HG will be able to go like his little base camp at the moon when he's a grandpa.
I'm gonna be an
Yo,
old guy with
man.
a pachita.
You know who you're going to be like?
rum.
You're going to be like Matthew McConaughey, man. And you're going to go to the moon and get caught in a black hole and then go back in time, but then come into the future and then meet Margaret Hatcher just about at the time that she's about to lay her last egg ever, because then she's going to die. And you're going to be there. And you're going to look
That's
the same.
beautiful, man.
She's going to be like, Papa? And you're going to be like, lay your egg.
I'm here to make an omelet from your last egg. So delicious.
How crazy.
You're gonna
is
hold her
that?
wing. You're gonna hold her wing when she breathes her last breath.
And lay the egg. He's like, lay that egg, girl. Don't let me down.
Don't let me down. Lay that last egg.
Oh my gosh. Hey, but if I could give a
So
shout out
we-
on space, I'm studying of space, man. One of the things I did during the
Uh-huh.
pandemic was watch For All Mankind on Apple TV Plus. Man,
Very good. Really
epic
enjoyed that show.
show. If you haven't seen it, totally recommended. For All Mankind, Apple TV Plus.
I recommend that one as well. I really enjoyed it. And it's like, what if we weren't the first ones to get it to the moon, and the Russians beat us to the moon, and what would have happened in that scenario? Check it out. I think Nemo, you were the star of that movie, weren't you?
I think
I'm
so.
missing
He's
out. I
done
didn't
a-
see it.
He's done a lot
Didn't
of
see it?
a lot of acting. He was there with
Acting.
He was there with that guy from the new RoboCop movie. Well, it's old now. I forget what his name is. Dude, the
If
new
you're not talking about Jay
RoboCop.
Barrickle, I don't know what you're talking about.
RoboCop. When did that come out? I don't even
RoboCop.
remember, man.
I'm OG. I remember the old RoboCop. I don't know about
Yeah,
the new one.
80s.
Nah, man, but there was a new one with this guy. He's friends with Will
Yeah.
Smith. I saw them do a video together on Instagram. He was at his house last year. Joel Kinnaman. There you go. Him.
Joel Kinnaman, the guy from Nauticals.
Yes. And you know
Okay,
what
so moving right along.
you know what he was also in? The Suicide Squad.
Who?
Joel Kinnaman.
Oh, that's
man.
right. He was in Panama. He was in Panama.
Pre-COVID.
They
he was
filmed
in Panama.
Suicide. The
Suicide
That's
Squad.
right.
Yeah.
What role does he play in Suicide Squad?
He's like the army guy.
Rick Flag, bud.
Oh,
Rick Flag,
he's the
bud.
good guy.
So
Okay.
it was kind of cool. Like, there are the pros and cons of them filming Suicide Squad in Panama. I auditioned twice for it. I got a call back, and I thought, hey, man, this is gonna be cool. I didn't get the part, and then they ended up filming like a block away from my house. So I just sat there on the little divider, like, you wish you guys would have picked me.
You guys
But you know
see
what
me?
was pretty cool was, you guys, I would have been good as a bad guy. But you know what was pretty cool was seeing Margot Robbie on the Oscars, and then the next morning she was here in Panama filming in Casco Viejo, and I saw
Totally.
her, and I was like, what?
Totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
that was
That's-
pretty cool.
that's fancy.
Wow.
You know who was on the
So you
set
were
of the
like-
Suicide Squad in Casco Viejo?
Who?
Me. Me.
Joe.
I was
The guy
a-
with two thumbs, an awesome beard, and a great cap.
That's right, man. I was a stand-in for one of the characters. I don't know if I can say I signed a non-confidentiality agreement, so I can't say who I was. But I was a stand-in for one of the characters, man. And I was on
He
set.
played The Rock.
That's right. I was the Rock. The Rock's in the Suicide Squad, by the way.
No, not like The Rock, but he played a rock.
A
like
rock.
a piece of granite.
I played a few
Played a
there.
rock.
But it was wild seeing them film that, and man, you saw crazy people there. Idris Elba was there. Idris Elba came to Panama, and he was walking around El Chorrillo, and he already looked like he owned El Chorrillo. I don't understand how somebody can walk around with
Wow.
that much confidence, man. Like I hope to learn that someday.
One word. Boasty.
Boasty.
That's Idris in Chorrillo, baby. He's like one sauce. Boasty.
Boasty.
Was it you that was telling me, Joe? That guy's like super charismatic.
Yeah, man. He just looked. He was just walking around. Like, he had this swagger about him. He'd just be walking around, and people be like, "It's just up." He's like, "Hey, how's it going, mate? Hey." And you'd be like, "Oh, snap."
Check out my DJ channel.
Yeah. He busts out a turntable and start like mixing crap. So we'd be like, amazing, amazing, amazing. Yeah, man. And who else was there?
Idris.
John Cena was there. John Cena was there. He's super big, kind of short. And you know what's funny? We weren't allowed to have our mobile phones on us on set, but every single kid in El Chorrillo was out that night with their cell phones, with their mobile phones, and all the balconies were crammed full of people with their mobile phones. So whatever we were gonna release was released 10 times over.
Right?
Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Anyways, I lost track. What were we talking about?
Idris Elba, and he
Oh,
was
space.
in.
Talking
He's in the
about
new.
space.
He's in the new version of where they blow up a asteroid in space.
Is he? Armageddon Part 2?
No. Yeah, I hope so. Armageddon 2.
That'd be epic. I'd watch it.
Idris Elba takes over Mars.
It'd be called Armageddon.
I get it.
There's got to be Japanese there. There's got to be Japanese because the Japanese picked the rock, right? So, who'd our Japanese star be?
I don't know, man. Jet Li.
I don't know
Is he
any.
Japanese? Jet Li.
You mean the reggae guy? Japanese?
Yeah, Japanese. He'd make the soundtrack too. It'd be Jet Li. Anyways, man, is he Japanese? Now I gotta know.
All right, let's get back
Oh, no,
to
I
the
don't think
list.
so. I
We're
don't think so.
derailing here.
My bad.
All right,
I
so
apologize.
what's left? We've talked about almost everything on the list. Article J of the top 10. I like
J,
repeating that because we have a
Constitution.
top 10 list, but each
last
each
article.
thing is with a letter. J is we avoided a Great Depression for now.
For now.
Oh,
For now.
that sounds kind of dire, man. That sounds like
I
we
know it
almost
does.
hit another Great Depression.
We almost did, right? But I think I think when everything got locked down, we were like, snap, the economy's gonna tank. But then as things started opening again, people like flocked to buy stuff and just to get the economy
Yeah.
moving. So we didn't tank the economy as bad, I think, as people had initially predicted.
Right.
But then I guess it depends on what happens within the coming months, right? I guess for now we're good, economically speaking. I don't know.
Now
I'm
we're
not an
good.
economist.
Well, maybe, just to keep a positive note, we've proved that we can do it. That we're not quite sure how things are going to play out in the months ahead, but we know we can do it. If we keep being responsible for ourselves, if we keep doing all the positive things that we talked about, work from home has given a lot of people opportunity. If a company's capable of swiveling to the new way of things working, then there's opportunity out there. It's been shown that people want more fresh produce. A lot of the local farmers are taking advantage of that and giving people what they want. Fresh produce, easy to purchase. A lot of good things capable. We're
I have a
capable.
question for Nemo, man. Nemo and Honduras. Overseas,
Talk to
man.
me.
Over here, we have those guys that ride around in the pickup trucks that, they'll say like, we're selling se vende habichuela, se vende, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have that in Honduras as well?
Well, there's a guy that comes by my house twice a week, and all you hear is los plátanos, quiere plátano, bien rico los plátanos. And he won't stop. He won't shut up, man. Unless somebody stops him to buy, he'll stop, do his little deal, and he's got a pickup truck full of plátanos. That's all he's selling. Nothing else. Not lettuce,
Really?
not tomatoes, just plátanos. Yeah, man. But you'll get other people doing other stuff too. But my plátano guy, he's pretty hardcore, man.
Have you bought plátanos from him?
Sweet.
I bought plátanos by the dozens from him, man. I treat people to
Nice.
plátanos. Like, you got plátanos? Give me your plátanos, man. What's the deal on plátanos? He's like, bien rico, bien delicioso, los plátanos, 4 por 12, bien gallego, los plátanos. And I'm like, yeah, dame cuatro.
So what do you make out of the plátanos? What's your
I
what's your
fry
top
them.
10 from A to G? How do you prepare how do you prepare those plátanos?
Well, the number one thing you have to do with a plátano is actually fry it and use it in a picadillo cubano. That is one of the most amazing foods ever. I love it. It's one of my
Tell
favorite
me
mom's
more.
dishes.
Tell us more. You
Picadillo
fry it
cubano
and-
is ground beef, and you sauce it up with sofrito, basically. You prepare white rice. You throw the beef on the rice. You should put in some raisins, almonds. Well, almonds depends on your taste. Raisins on your taste as well. Definitely some olives. The sofrito should have a little bit of tomato and onion. And you pour that over the rice. You fry an egg, pour that over that, and you fry the plantain. Put that on top of the fried egg, on top of the picadillo, on top of the rice, and you slice it all up together and mix it all together, and it's amazing. So
You mash it up?
your plátano should be kind of
Mash it
thin,
up.
and into wedges. They should be cut into wedges. Basically, you can slice up afterwards, man. So good. Another typical dish in Honduras is to actually slice a plátano through the middle, fry it up, put some refried beans in the middle, put some sour cream on it, and now you have like un plátano relleno con frijoles.
Ooh,
I like that.
man, I'm getting hungry, man.
I perfected my baked
Patacón?
baked patacón.
Ooh.
Yeah, super easy. You don't have to worry about twice frying and all that stuff. You steam it, you mash it, and then you bake it.
What do you put in the middle?
Super easy. You mean in the middle? The patacón
Yeah.
as a topper.
Yeah.
My favorite thing to put on a patacón is ropa vieja.
Oh, delicious, dude. I love me some banana.
So, but the last time I made it, I had a puerco liso that I slow cooked, and so I broke down the puerco liso until it was like desmechado, and then I fried it so it was crispy. And then we made a guacamole, so I had patacones, guacamole, and the fried pork on top.
Man,
Delightful.
Big Nemo, you gotta come down to Panama when all this crap is over, and we're gonna take a trip to Santa Clara.
2021 is begging for some Santa Clara. I've been there before. I've seen that lemon tree. I want to swing on it again.
Have a feast.
It's true.
Yeah. Have
planning
me
to
some
go there this
rum.
week.
Enjoy that
I was
beach.
planning to go there this week, man. This week. But then they put the cerco sanitizers and I can't do it.
Yeah. We're living through another quarantine, but
Mini quarantine.
mini quarantine. Well, we're gonna work on our recipes because maybe we'll do a cooking show. It's gonna be called Snacking with Snack Scallions. We're gonna have all kinds of delicious treats. I want some recipes from you, Nemo. We want to include those delicious plátano recipes because,
Hey, some
like
Honduran
Nito said,
delicacies.
All those beans, baby. All those beans.
all those beans.
And I
Nito
had a
said,
Venezuelan friend. I met in Panama. Odd story. Her favorite food is plátano. So she's got to have tons of plátano recipes. But I just remember chatting it up with her. She's like, plátano's my thing, man. That's what I like to get. She was living in the States, so she kind of missed having her plátano, But the Venezuelans got to know about plátano.
For sure.
For sure.
Hey.
For sure. That sounds
Gotta give her the
totally legit,
plátano.
man. Makes all the sense. All the sense.
I've never been a big fan of plátano. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "What? You don't like patacons?" I'm like, kind of starchy. I prefer its sweeter cousin, the banana. But with the whole pandemic thing, see, there you go, delicious.
Banana man.
In the pandemic, a lot of people are trading food. I had a lot of lemons. I traded with the neighbor. People came by. They're like, "Yeah, I just went to the finca. Here's a box of like tons of plátano." I had plátano coming out of my ears, so I tried all kinds of stuff. I perfected my baked patacones. That's a keeper. And also I made it's a Dominican thing with plátano. It's called I can't remember what it's called. Where's the research department at? It's kind
I
of
just
like
wanna go-
mashed plátano with sausage and cheese and
Ooh.
oils and stuff.
Wow.
Essential oil?
Yeah, the essential oil is called butter.
Maybe a CBD like oil. That's what I cook with.
Snap. Man, Honduras
Yeah,
is
it got me
super far
crazy.
ahead. No doubt, man.
Dope, but I want to make a short comment and introduction there. That like now we were talking about bananos, then I want to remind you of guineo, the authentic Panamanian flavor. I'm not sure if that hits any bells, but if it does, for those listeners out there, we love you.
Yes, it does. Let's just say HB so that I can tell you in a nutshell what it's all about. We had a friend that had been in a car accident and was hospitalized during carnivals. So Nemo and I and another friend had to go to El Machetazo in Penonomé to buy him something to sleep in the hospital overnight. So we found him a red t-shirt with a banana on it that said, what was that it said?
Guineo.
The original Panamanian yellow flavor? Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. It was crazy.
Had a big ass banana on it. It was hilarious. He's fine, by the way. Nothing happened to him.
He survived, and
And we're
I
all
hope
still
he still
great
has the
friends.
shirt.
No, I think I got burnt out of the hospital. Not even COVID times, and it was already that bad. We bought him
my
some
God.
plaid shorts. They ripped
Yeah.
overnight.
They ripped overnight. There you go. Don't buy plaid shorts at a Machetazo. Unfortunately, they won't last.
Well, it was kind of you guys to look out for you, and in my opinion, if you have to take a friend some clothes in the hospital, you better prank the shit out of them. Like
Right?
it's like Rainbow Bright, Care Bears T-shirt, Cinderella toothbrush.
Walking,
Hey,
sipping
man.
on some abuelo, be like, watch yourself.
Hey, we set him
Yeah,
up good,
take a
man.
little
He
flask.
was comfortable. He was comfortable, man. He was comfortable. Hey, so other than cooking, then, what other great positive things have you two cats been up to during the quarantine?
Lots of cooking, I tell you that.
Well, I'm not that big of a cook, so I've actually been busy with work. I'm independent, so that takes a lot of my time. But I have to admit, and I'm extremely grateful, even though it's not even Thanksgiving, that I've spent a lot of time with family I hadn't spent this much time with, and it's really brought us closer together. Some cousins, some uncles and aunts, and sister and brother-in-law. I've missed my parents. I've missed my family in the States. I did get to go see them in October. But the people here that I got to see and hang out with, it was priceless, My cousin ended up getting married just last week, and
Nice,
we were already
congrats.
so close and so tightly knit. You have no idea how memorable, spectacular a season it's been.
Very cool, man.
Awesome.
Very cool.
I kind of retired. I moved out to Santa Clara with Karina. We at the beginning of just at the beginning of the pandemic, and we knew what was going on. Our play got canceled. Joe's and I's mine play got canceled, and sounds like Joe's making a drink. What are you making there? A little crunk?
Is that a blender?
crunkness?
Is that a blender going on?
That is
He-
a- I have a-
he's
I have an ice
he's
bucket.
brought his crunk. Yeah, he got an ice bucket. Santa Claus was good to him. He's got
Santa
the little
Claus brought
pinzas
me an
too.
Ice bucket.
Yeah, and show him the pinzas. He has the little Frank Sinatra ice
Check that
scooper.
out, man. It's super fancy, man.
Joe
And-
was good all year. Santa's been nice to him.
Hey, I've been super
Indeed.
good all year. Santa better bring an ice bucket, man. Shoot.
And it wasn't full of coal.
It was not. It was full of nothing.
That,
man.
you were like, oh, Santa brought me a barbecue.
Wow.
Oh gosh.
Well, now that we're done with the top 10 A through J of positive world events, I want to share some of my positive things. Like
Yeah, dude.
I downloaded Duolingo and I brushed up on my German, so that was pretty
Boom.
cool.
Speaking some
Karina,
Deutsche.
ja genau. So Karina brushed up on her Korean and French, which she already knew,
Wow.
but she had to she speaks like 5 languages. Amazing.
Man,
So
he's gonna be the
she used
CEO of
her.
Rapscallions International.
That's right.
Sure.
Indeed, it should be a good role for her. We're going worldwide, baby.
No doubt. No doubt.
Another positive thing, like for years, I've been coming out here and cutting the grass. I retired my dad's employees. They've been working for him since the 60s, since Neil Armstrong landed on the moon. So they're like, I need to retire, Mr. Henry, it's time. And I was like, all right. And so that means that I had to start cutting the grass, or we had to start cutting the grass. So since we did that, I've always wanted to buy sheep and have them just eat the grass. You know, I was like, it's got to be a better way where I can sit on my ass and drink rum and have someone else take care of the lawn, right? So I finally did it. I got the sheep, and we got chickens, and we spent the whole pandemic raising sheep and chickens. Now we get 4 eggs a day, and you can read about something. You can read about how a chicken lays an egg every 24 hours, but until you see it, it's so amazing. How does this little animal do that?
Yeah.
And the shell is hard, every 24 hours. How long does it take your hair to grow? This thing can make a shell with a yolk and a white in it every 24 hours. I'm completely blown away by this. I feel like the little kid who had that science project. I'm flabbergasted.
That's pretty amazing, man.
I recommend it. I recommend it. So if there's anything you can do to get in touch with nature, please do it. It's just amazing. I'm completely blown away. I don't even have the words to express it.
That's very cool, man. There you go, man. Nature. It's the gift that keeps
Used to getting in touch with nature.
Nature
With
is the
my
way.
fancy cup, my pimp cup.
Yeah.
Someone recognize it.
I'm jealous of your cup.
I know, man.
It's a quality cup. I left mine in the city.
Never leave home without it, man.
That is a quality cup.
But speaking of getting in touch with nature, I have to admit one of the greatest things that's happened to me. One of my uncles, who had a good relationship with, we've gotten a lot closer right now, is my hiking buddy. He picks me up about twice a week. We go further up the mountain from my house, and we go hiking into the mountains for about an hour and a half, man. And I tell you, it's spectacular.
Yes,
fresh air, views, cardio, in touch with nature. It's something else, man. It really, I think people should really get involved.
Absolutely,
really
I
cool,
agree with
man.
you. Joe,
I was hoping to get in
when
touch
we
with
say
nature.
when we say get in touch with nature, it does not mean touching yourself, even though you're a natural Adonis.
I know it's hard. I can see my reflection, and I'm like,
I gotta get in touch with nature.
man, I was supposed to get in touch with nature this week.
True story.
COVID. But that's okay. That's okay. Hey, you know one of the things that
you have a beautiful addition to the family, a natural.
I do. I do. A natural dog. He's natural. He was born naturally.
Not in a test tube.
Not in a test tube, not a clone. He came out of another dog's, and we got him.
That's actually the sound that you hear when an egg is laid.
There you go. I'm sure that's just how it was. So now Mo is with us, and Mo has been with us for the past year and 2 months. And he's a live little Scottish Terrier. Right now he's probably with Kelly, because I don't see him anywhere around here. But he's a hoot, man. I love that guy. He's a bomb diggity. He always bites me, but then he licks me. So he's like, I'm sorry. So I don't know, man. He's a hoot.
It's psychological torment.
I'm looking forward to 2021 when I can get over and meet Mo personally and have some fun with him.
Hey, man, we're going to take Mo over to HB.
Mo ate my
farm.
Danish.
He ate, yeah, man. Last time I was going to give HB a Danish, and Mo was like, I'm sorry. He ate that baby.
He's like, HB, you're getting fat. I'm going to eat it.
Yeah, man. He was like, HB, so wait, dog. Them sheep feed him too good. He needs to go meet some sheep.
Let's taste some chickens, you know what I'm saying? Let's run.
Yeah.
Oh.
He wants some fresh Sheep poop. What other positive life events have you guys been able to culminate during 2020 pandemic?
Well, right on this subject, before I let Joe jump into with his, Atlas learned a new trick this pandemic. So there's been growth on all sides here, and now he can do vuelta. And so before he gets a treat, he gets to do vuelta, and he spins around in a circle like he's chasing his tail, which he also likes to do.
Look who's
I
here.
like to do that too, man. Hey, it's Mo. What's up, Mo? Say me a Danish dog.
Joe's
He's like,
frozen.
"Oh,
I
she's
can't
gonna
see
drink
it.
my rum."
See, Mo knows where it's at. That's why we get along.
He was like, "Is that rum?"
I'm gonna have some of that rum.
That's Mo, man. Sorry. So let us, Atlas, make him do vuelta. Let's go. Vuelta, vuelta.
Let's
Oh, you
see
want to see it?
Vuelta.
All right, all right. Watch this. Atlas is a big fan of the banana. Atlas,
Oh yeah.
what have I got here?
You have a
Oh,
you have
boy.
a fruitarian dog?
Sit. Oh yeah. Watch. Look at that. Look at that. Mmm. All right. So, give his paw. He's a good boy. He gives paw. All
Whoa.
right. Vuelta. Vuelta. Oh, he can't fit here. Good thing.
He doesn't have
There he goes.
space.
There he goes. There he goes. Vuelta. 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 Vuelta.
That was beautiful.
Oh, that was amazing.
Oh, he loves his nanas. He's like a minion.
That's right.
Banana.
Hey,
That was
you know
beautiful.
I
what
want
happened?
more.
A positive thing that happened. One of my grandmas turned 90 years old during this pandemic. 90. Yes. So,
Good genes, J-Dog.
dude, so since none of us, this is my dad's grandma who lives in a school, my dad's mom who lives in a school. So since none of us, she's been keeping her bubble hardcore. Hardcore. So since none of us wanted to get her sick, one of my uncles was like, "We're gonna have a Zoom birthday party for you." So my uncle, along with my aunt here, my uncle's in the States, with my aunt here, they coordinated for all of her sons, daughters, nieces, nephews, grandkids to get a piece of the cake that she had purchased, took it to every single one of them. Then we had a Zoom call where we all chatted it up with her, had some drinks, ate the cake, sang happy birthday. Incredible. And she was over the moon. She couldn't believe it. And I was like, man, that's really special, man. Really special. Dude.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Family love, dude.
Yeah.
2020
man.
has been the year for family.
I think it has. It's like even all the bad things that have been happening, it's given us a chance to connect. Kind of slowed us down from the rat race. Made us realize what's important. Here's to the fam scallion. Here's the family.
Here's the
Fam
man.
Scallions.
Fam Scallions, no doubt, man. Merch coming soon. But yeah, man. And it's been good, man. It's been good. And I think a lot of us were very happy as well when, when sports came back. I think it gave everyone a sort of a semblance of what normal would potentially look like. So, when the NBA came back, HB knows I was drastically following the Heat and their run through the finals, and talking about it here on the show. Too good, man. And it brought back a good feeling, and as well when football came back and the Champions League, and we got to see all these games happening and all these people playing. It just kind of helped you to say things aren't too bad. We can handle it.
There was a sense of normalcy. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
So I thought that was pretty good, man. What are you allowed to play professional sports in Honduras anymore? Like, is the Honduran
The,
soccer league back up?
Honduras is all about football. Like, there's no other sport other than football for Hondurans, basically. So yeah, the La Liga Nacional, which is our national soccer football league, is off and kicking, man. They're playing their games. No fans in the stadiums, but they're playing their games, watching their COVID protocols. They're playing internationally. Honduras went to the final of La Conca Champions. Olympia was there, playing against the Mexicans, and we got our butt handed to. But it was still great. We beat Montreal before that. We beat Seattle
The
before
Montreal
that. So
Impact? Whoa.
Olympia played hardcore, man. They were flying.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, so football's off and away by all means, and we always obviously follow our boxing distant relative Teofimo Lopez, who became a champion October 18th, or Supreme Champion October 18th, world champion, and also Mauricio Duvong is the Honduran player in the MLB. So we followed his games before the World Series, and we look forward to seeing more of that again soon.
That's very well. What's the situation? How does it feel like in Honduras right now? Do people like vaccine wise and returning to normal wise? What's the vibe like over there?
There's no line in sight for the vaccine coming here. Cases are, I can't say peaking, or I can't say manageable. They're there. People are still taking care of themselves, but I'm worried that they're gonna, kind of lower their guard, especially right now with the holidays. So we've got to take it slow, take it easy, and see what January is expecting for us.
Word.
I think we kind of suffer from the same thing. I got some of those WhatsApp bootleg videos of huge Christmas parties.
Yeah.
And people aren't even wearing masks, It's kind of cringeworthy.
Yeah.
Panama's been skyrocketing on cases per thousand or per million. What was it? What was the Joe always shares the statistics with me.
Yeah, we're just doing pretty bad. We're doing pretty
Just
bad.
to wrap that
And I
up
think
succinctly.
that's one of the things that upsets. It just annoys me because, like, okay, fine. If you want to go to a party and put your life in danger and your family's life in danger, do it. But don't post pictures of yourself doing it in social media because then other people will see it and they'll be like, hey, that's okay. I should do that too. And people are more likely to follow stupid advice than good advice. So don't promote stupid. Be stupid by yourself.
Yeah, that's not the rapscallion way.
No,
don't promote
when
stupid.
When HB and I do stupid things, we do it amongst ourselves. We don't put it out there.
Exactly.
Then more stupid stuff will happen.
Don't share the stupid.
So I think that's probably been the most annoying.
Share the
annoying
rum,
thing.
not the stupid.
Yeah, share the rum, not the stupid. That should be our slogan for 2021.
That's going to be my slogan for 2021. Share the rum.
Share the rum, not the stupid, man. I think that's one of those things that's been the most annoying thing about the pandemic. It's just that because I think people think that if you're cautious about the pandemic, then you're scared. But I think being scared and being cautious are two separate things, man.
That's a very astute point. It's true. Like, people react to fear differently. So sometimes they go way over, and sometimes you freeze. So somewhere in the middle, somewhere where there's balance, is probably the best way.
For sure, man. For sure. And we all just gotta. And I think it's one of the things that we've been talking about all year is that we all gotta watch out for each other. You know what I'm saying? We can't get through this on our own. How about community?
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. We have to understand that this has to bring us together. We got to work together to solve this. We actually did a show on world pandemics in the past, and the pandemic 100 years ago, they conquered it by doing the following three things: social distancing, wearing a mask, and washing your hands.
For sure. That's simple. That's simple, man. So what are you guys' hopes and dreams for 2021? Do you guys have any hopes and dreams? Anything that you guys would like to potentially see take place?
I just want to know what Nemo's watching.
I know, man. He seems like he's totally involved.
There's a game coming on, isn't there?
I'm on this 100%. But remember that in my heart, deep down, I'm a Denver Broncos fan, and they're playing the LA Chargers right now at LA. It's not looking good. Not like the season really matters, right, anymore. But there's a sense of pride here and loyalty and warmth and appreciation for the fact that there's sports right now during COVID. So
for sure, man.
Mile High Nation is on watch.
Nemo, what do you think of the following? I'm a Detroit Lions fan. They had a game against Tampa Bay yesterday.
Ouch.
Yeah.
What happened, dude?
What do you think? Giselle Bundchen happened.
She must have said, like, hey, you want to get some? It's Saturday night. What?
She's like, Tom Brady, you better win this game. I tell you.
Tom
Brady. Henry is my friend. He said no when I asked him out. And we must crush the Detroit Lions.
This is our revenge game.
This is a revenge game. That Henry turned me down when I was a young model. Sorry, Giselle. She was just she was a mega model. She wasn't a supermodel yet.
Ah, okay. Hey, are the Buccaneers doing any good? Are they like doing really well? I totally disconnected from.
They're in the
from
playoffs.
Yeah,
Oh, word?
playoffs.
Tom Brady. Wow.
Tom Brady.
They stepped on the neck of the Lions to get there.
Yeah, and the
Devastating.
Patriots, Tom Brady's former team, they're out of the playoffs. So
Man,
who gets
Tom
the
Brady
last
made a-
laugh?
Tom Brady made a good
Yeah.
move.
Yeah, I guess what you're gonna see a lot of Patriot memes on the internet this week.
See,
Tom Brady's pretty
for
smart, man.
shizzle.
Tom Brady's pretty smart. You know what? I remember the Broncos back when LA was playing. They beat the Packers. That was a good team.
My glory days. That was my favorite Super Bowl ever. John Elway running for it on third down, diving in front of two Green Bay Packer defenders, spinning like a helicopter, and landing and getting a first down. That was just like epic.
Amazing.
And you know what?
I
used
do
to see
have some
John
glory
Elway-
days.
I used to see John Elway, and I was like, oh, he's so old. How old was he when that happened?
He was only in his late 30s.
He was like our age.
Younger than we are now. Younger than we are now.
And we'd be like, oh, John Elway, he's a grandpa. Retire.
If I had to place a number, I think it was 37, maybe.
Glory days.
Those days.
Oh my
But guys,
God.
I gotta head out a little earlier, and basically, I wanted to I close it on my most positive note for 2020 and what I most wish and hope for 2021. My brother in 2020 has been NED the entire year. That's no evidence of disease. That means he's been cancer-free for a year. And the more time we get like that, that's it can't get more positive than that, basically. So
That's beautiful.
2020, it's been hard, but thank you for the best one.
That's right.
Sure, man.
We got lots of good things. Lots of heart going out to your brother. All the fam scallion positive energies going out to him. That's great news, man.
It is, man.
Hell yes. Hell to the
So
yes.
happy.
So thank you so much, Nemo, for joining us and giving us your comedic perspective on all the good things of 2021. All 10 of them, A through J.
That's right.
We
In
tore,
any
we tore
order.
we
Any
tore
order.
that alphabet up. Best wishes to your brother, and maybe the Broncos. I send some love to the Broncos.
Yeah, man, no doubt, dude.
Thank
Take
you.
care, Nemo. You know
We
love
just
you,
tied the
dog.
game, so it's working.
Boom. All this
Yeah.
Scallions love, dude. You know we love you, man. Thank you so much for joining us, man. All the love. to
Love you
and
guys.
your
It's been
fam.
so great. 2021, Scallions together in Panama. That's going to be awesome.
That's
doubt.
gonna be. We're gonna do Snack Scallions episode with Honduranian recipes. That's what we're gonna do.
Right.
Exactly. It's going to be rap scallions, snack scallions, any scallions.
Yeah. All right. Thanks again for
Love you
joining
guys.
us.
Peace out, brother. Thank you.
Peace. Well, Joe,
And then there were two.
then there were two rap scallions.
Dude, where did I miss
So-
in the beginning with all my internet problems?
I'm not sure. The rum is taking effect. So much comedy ensued.
I know, man.
Let's talk
Well,
more about personal positive things during 2020.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm happy. Well, I said I was happy about my grandma's party celebration. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm also happy I got to see you for a bit in November,
It's
early
true.
December, when we were doing our 1903
We
rehearsal.
were, we were rehearsing for 1903.
Yeah, man. It was nice to
It
kind of
was.
have a.
After being,
Go ahead, man.
we got a little delay that we're fighting against each other. But, I just want to say, even though Joe and I meet every Sunday, we talk over the internet. We're both actors, and to be able to rehearse for something after so many months, even with all the fears of COVID and a pandemic, acting with a mask on and with the people with the laser thermometers, to be able to express ourselves in person on stage and to meet our dear friends from the stage was it was rejuvenating. That's how I felt about it. Even though the play got canceled, I was momentarily rejuvenated and I feel
Yeah.
more creative because of it.
Yeah, just to come in contact with all these people, in contact in a socially distant way, of course. But to be able to come in contact with these people that we had such an amazing experience with last year in November was so great, and it was so happy. So yeah, even sharing those weeks was super great, super great. Just being able to kind of be creative again in that sense, because I think we've been creative we've been pretty actively creative in our like apart,
Yeah.
but together was cool, and to be able to hang out with our masks on and stuff.
That's true, and the thing is that since we were going to be acting together on stage, we made the decision to include each other in each other's bubble. You got to
Mm,
keep your bubble small, keep it to your family, keep it to certain coworkers if you're very close to them. And I was like, hey Joe, if we're going to be on stage together,
mm,
your family is going to be part of the bubble of my family. So
that's right.
we
That's
decided
right.
to commingle our bubbles.
That's right.
We were able to rehearse together, and we, tell you the truth, we got together and had some rum.
No doubt. It had
We
to
were
happen.
trying to figure out, yeah, we were trying to figure out how to do the show in vivo with both of us in the same room. But then the play got canceled, and we didn't have enough time to make that happen. But
Yeah.
2021, that's in the works. We're gonna try and up the production value by having us in the same room, getting some cameras. If you want to donate some internet, if you want to donate some cameras to us, Ko-fi link in the description.
That's right, man.
Search Rapscallions.
That's right. And we're gonna have some merch hopefully dropping in 2021 from Little Brown Dog Aviation.
That's right. We got to
Bro,
mention Little Brown Dog Aviation. LittleBrownDogAviation.com. Two things are going to happen. The end of 2020 is happening. So two new things are going to happen to Rapping with Rapscallions. One, we're going to have some Rapping with Rapscallions merch on LittleBrownDogAviation.com. Also, we're going to extract the audio from each one of our shows and make it into podcast form. And more things are coming from there.
and it's gonna be amazing because then you're gonna be able to purchase some merch. I'm hoping that we can get some nice hats with rapscallions, hoodies, t-shirts, amazing stuff, man. And then hopefully we can get some more comedic, amazing stuff, with HB, with myself, with all the great guests that we have had this year. Because we've had some amazing guests, man. We've had like Margot Robbie, we've had Michael Bolton, Silent Hunter, with something was about sharks.
Ooh, he's tuned in. He was tuned in.
Oh, what? I
This
can't
guy
see you.
dives with great white sharks. That's incredible. So if you guys have, I just want to ask the people. I'm gonna take our thumbnail off, our weekly thumbnail off, and this is our Rapscallion logo. Would you guys like a shirt or a hoodie with that logo on it? Let us know in the comments. We can make it happen because Little Brown Dog is sponsoring us, and we can get some nice merch out there. Joe, what do you want to see on a hoodie? What do you want to see
I
on a
would,
hat?
I would like to see our logo on a hat, man. I think that would rock. A nice snapback with a logo, boom. Man, I would rock that every single day.
I want to
rock
get
that
like a sombrero
every-
pintado with the Rapscallion logo on it.
Oh, that'd be pretty tight too, man. We should get that too. Anything can happen, man. The world is our oyster.
The world is our
World is our
oyster.
oyster.
We've been able to, survive through the pandemic, be socially responsible, create a show. We started off with 5 viewers, and now we're averaging 3,000 a week. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'd be nothing without you guys. If you guys have any suggestions on things you want to talk about, our last week's show about Just Cause was a big hit. Well, a lot of people kind of responded positively to our insight. If you have any topics that you would like us to cover, please let us know.
Hey, and if you want to be on the show as well, if you want to chat it out with us, let us know as well. We will gladly have you on the show. We can chat it out, and talk about topics and just keep it flowing, keep it fun, keep it natural. Because that's one of the things that HB and I like to do is just, keep it airy, keep it breezy. And we're both very naturally comedic dudes. So we like to keep it comedic. We don't know everything, and we say that in every single episode. We just try to express our thoughts to help you think about them and then make your own thoughts. You might not agree with us, and that's okay.
Yeah, and maybe you're an expert. You can let us know. It's like, hey, that actually happened this way. That's what we want to hear.
Without a doubt, man. And I think, one of the things that I think I've done in 2020 HB, which I'm pretty proud of myself, is I've made a lot more
Mm-hmm.
videos and songs, like rapping and stuff. That's been pretty good.
Oof.
Because I've been pretty
Yeah.
hesitant in the past to put videos of myself on Instagram rapping. I've done that this year. So I'm pretty happy about
I
that.
think I want to steal the mic from you for 1 second because I want you guys out there to listen to me. Right up here above my head is at Joe Mosquita. That's the Instagram handle. If you go to that Instagram handle, you'll see how Joe takes all the things that he's good at. He's good at rhyming, he's good at rapping, he's good at history, he's good at comedy. You're going to see all kinds of things put into a video of while he was locked up in quarantine, he was able to express himself creatively using all of his talents. So please go to Joe at Joe Mosquita and check out his videos. Leave your comments. Say, I'm here because I'm a rapscallion.
No doubt, man. Thanks, HP. I appreciate that. And not to mention, HP is a super talented cat. I don't have to tell you. You guys already know that, man. He's been in movies galore, or he's been locked up, making films, temporada de mangos. Amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff.
So, 2020 is coming up. Rapscallions have a lot of plans. We're on episode 25 right now. The last episode of 2020. Of course, in the beginning, we were met with trials and tribulations. The internet would not comply with us. But guess what?
Episode at the beginning.
Guess what happened? We succeeded in the end, and we have plans. We have a lot of plans. We're going to keep doing our Sunday show. I think, it might be a little congested with the Super Bowl and NFL and all that stuff, but, you guys can check in with us throughout the week by checking out our shows that are always on our Facebook page, and we're going to launch that podcast page. Joe, what do you have any thoughts on things that we can do in 2020 to expand Rapscallions?
More music, man. I'm hoping to focus a lot more on writing with HB some Rapscallions music, because we've done some pretty great songs in the past. We got to put some more songs out in the future, man. And just kind of keep collaborating, keep growing. Super shout out to Shorty and Slim for allowing us to collaborate with them this year. I think that by far has
That was a
been
lot of fun.
huge. Yeah, it was fun. Huge blessing, man. From Panama City to the Bobby Wombo, man. Ridiculous, dude. Ridiculous.
That's
So
the
much
song
growth.
you're going to hear when we close. You're going to hear the Bobby Wombo song when we close. And just remember, saspanama.bandcamp.com. Tell us more, Joe. Sign us out.
Yeah,
Give us some words of positive beauty.
We got 4 minutes left, dog. So I think it's
We got
as
4
good a
minutes?
time as any. I think it's as good a time as any to sign out, man.
All right.
2020 has been a year full of difficulties and trials and tribulations, but amongst all that stuff, we have also accomplished a lot of positive things. Us, Rapscallions, you guys at home, Famscallions watching us, man. And I know it's been hard. I know it's been difficult. We've all been through a lot, but we got to keep moving forward because the world's not going to stop. You know what I'm saying? So you guys keep doing your thing. Keep staying safe. Please, please, please wash your hands. Stay 6 feet away? 2 meters away? Just stay away
2
from
meters.
each other, man. Watch each other on Zoom, Skype. Just enjoy yourselves responsibly. We love you guys. Stay safe, please. Happy holidays. Happy New Year.
That was beautiful, Joe. I love when we sign out with your positive message. Just to play on top of that, I want to stand on the shoulders of the giant that is Joe. On one of our earliest shows, we talked about mental health. One of the easiest things you can do is learn how to breathe. We looked it up, we researched it. Inhale for 6 seconds, exhale for 6 seconds. Do that as long as you can. It'll help you out. Do a little exercise in the morning. Find some way to connect with nature. And everything that we go through will seem a little more tolerable. And find a way to express your creativity. You can join in every Sunday at 3 o'clock and see how we express our creativity. Learn about the projects that we're working on. Talk with guests, interesting people that we have in our circle. And one of my favorite people in my circle is Joe Mosquita. Thank you for a wonderful 2020. I think it was more bearable because of the idea that you had to have a streaming live cast with me. Thank you so much, Joe Mosquito.
Hey, we made it
You're a
happen,
wonderful,
brother.
wonderful family, friend, and collaborator.
Love the dog. Mass hugs your way, man. Everything you just said, back at you tenfold.
I take it. I take it. All right, y'all. We don't have a topic for the New Year's, but stay tuned to this channel. Follow us and like us. And we're going to try and come up with something fancy for y'all because it's the beginning of the year. We got to start off with a bang. Every Sunday, 3 p.m., you can find our recorded shows on YouTube and Facebook Live. You can catch up with us. Always send us a message. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Spread the word. Come on. You know you like it. And this song coming up is Shorty and Slim. Find it on sasspanama.bandcamp.com.
Every year in January, all the kids take down their Christmas tree, and we all get together as a community and we set those trees on fire.
Me no want to be a mosquito down at the Christmas tree burn. Down at the Christmas tree burn. Me no want to be a mosquito down at the Christmas tree burn. Down at the Christmas tree burn. Because the fire get hot, hot, hot. And the mosquito them drop, drop, drop. And then the fire get hot, red hot. And the mosquito them pop, pop, pop. And they do the Bobby Wombo. And they do the Bobby Wombo. And they do the Bobby Wombo. Oh, and then they do the Bobby Wombo. Me no want to be a mosquito down at the Christmas tree burn. Down at the Christmas tree burn. Come me no want to be a mosquito down at the Christmas tree burn. Down at the Christmas tree burn. The bear leg we bite, bite, bite. The barbecue just right, right, right. We making music through the night, night, night. And then they make a fire light, light, light. And they do the Bobby Wombo. 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 And then 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 they do the Bobby Wombo.
Mosquito bite on the leg and feet.
Move your body, sway to the beat.
Hear the punching check, hear the band.
Call the bombero fireman.
Find a partner, then grab a tree.
Throw it in on the count of three. Step back, watch the fire rise.
Watch mosquito drop from the sky. Mosquito bite on the leg and feet. Move your body straight to the beat. Hear the punching check, hear the band. Call the bombero fireman. Find a partner, then grab a tree. Throw it in on the count of three. Step back, watch the fire rise. Watch mosquito drop from the sky.
Me no want to be a mosquito down at the Christmas tree burn. Down at the Christmas tree burn.
Every year in January, all the kids take down their Christmas tree, and we all get together as a community and we set those trees on fire.